here. Come here. Come. Come on the couch. Come, my love. Come here. Come. Come up. Up on the couch. Come. Yes, the Papa Dog. He is making a video for Sandy today. Yes, Papa Dog. Yes. You are making a video for friend Sandy. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And he shows his appreciation to you from angel soul to angel soul. He says, "Thank you, Sandy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of your amazing work that you are doing for the animals out there." There he goes. Oh, good. Oh, that is good. Oh, that looks so good, Papa Dog. You look so good. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. Awesome. Look at that booty. That's a nice booty, is that? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous tail and feet and booty and long big back and gorgeous, gorgeous, luxurious guy, is that? Yes. He is my nurse. He is my rescuer. Yes. So I'm capturing the last daylight. It is, you can still see the clouds and the blue sky, and there's some hearts in the sky. That's very pretty. That's wonderful. Hearts that are becoming angel wings. Very, very nice. So it was a real wonderful conversation, and I'm so grateful to you, Sandy, for this amazing afternoon that we spent together on Facebook. It was amazing, and I'm so glad now that I did reopen up another page for myself. I first used pause, but then that was kind of difficult because people didn't know who they were talking to. So I finally opened up my own page again, and now I have all of these people calling my husband earlier. "Oh my gosh, they're calling you again." They were calling right when he was there petting the Papa Dog on my bed. And now I don't know how to turn that off. This automatic calling, phone calling from those people on Facebook. So I have no idea how to turn that off. And I see there is the shape of an airplane in the clouds. This is very cool. The clouds have formed an airplane, and it looks almost like it's actually like a bird that's diving up from the ocean. No, it looks like a dove, like a pigeon, like a white pigeon, like a carrier pigeon. Very beautiful, very pretty. There's so many amazing formations always in the sky. I love it. And here's my artwork, by the way. I don't know if you have seen this yet. I don't know if this shows very good. There's my Papa Dog. And there's Paul. There's Nicola. And there is Kenny Redwood. Nicola holding Kenny Redwood. And the painting and some flowers. And the painting is called Together Forever. So those are abstract flowers actually, but this is the Pierre Jardin, the blue god flower, but in abstract form, because in reality the Pierre Jardin, the flowers that I told you earlier about, this amazing, magical flower. The flowers are this small, they're like tiny little bells. They are bubblegum colored and bubblegum smelling little bells. They smell so amazing. I absolutely love it. And when they're in bloom, sometime after my birthday, sometime in April. They're becoming
in full bloom, and they have lots of little bells on each stem. They have like 30 or 40 little bells hanging on it, and these bells, they almost look like bubbles, and they smell like bubble gum. It's so incredibly lovely, and it's a wonderful, wonderful scent. And the plant, as I called it, the blue god plant. And if you find my video, my experience with oleander on my dormant channel, that if you comment there, I will not see it because I don't get the messages, because I even lost the passcode I forgot all the passcodes to my dormant channels. I don't know why I constantly switch channels. I guess the main reason was because something got switched around in the settings, and I didn't know how to fix this. I guess someone hacked into it or something, and so I'm just slowly, gradually starting to look into settings and being able to figure out what the problems are and fixing it. But some of these old channels I wasn't able to fix the glitches that occurred. So I think people hacked into it. They didn't want me to have a channel. They didn't want me to upload videos because I don't know. They don't like kind-hearted. They don't like do-gooders, like I said in my video yesterday. So the do-gooder that's the term. I mean, a do-gooder would never come up with such a term like do-gooder, like oh ho, 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 like it's something to avoid. Better avoid that do-gooder. This is the stigma. It's become a stigma in society to be a do-gooder. My mother even fell onto that bandwagon of, she doesn't want to smell too healthy. Like, this is too anthroposophical, that smell. I don't want to smell like this, like, the Veleda products. And I always thought, why? It doesn't make any sense. They smell so heavenly. The Veleda products, Dr. Rudolf Steiner helped me to quit smoking at age 25 because it stood in such contrast to this bar atmosphere that it just, which one do you choose? You don't even choose. I mean, it's like an automatic knowing, like which direction to fork away from, So, of course, I already didn't like the way the cigarettes smelled on my clothes. It smelled so bad. It smelled so dirty. And it smelled so dysfunctional. Ugh. Unclean, just not nice, not sanitary. So that's when it's a very gradual process for me to quit. I don't know if you are still addicted to any of these things. No, you said no. That's true. You said you never smoked. That's really, 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 really super. That's really, really, really awesome. That's so fantastic. So, yeah, my brother still smokes, a lot of people that I know, and but I don't see, it's become like this now in my life where I don't hang out with anyone who smokes anymore. So I just and I did that fairly quickly at age 25. My crazy boyfriend at that time, who was psychotic, he was only smoking once in a while with his friend at his friend's house. So that wasn't such a big problem yet for me because he didn't smoke where we were living. And then before I quit, I started to go out into the staircase and smoke there at the open window. But then I had a bronchitis, and I had this bronchial inhaler from Germany. It's a real good product, Transpulmin inhaler. And that was so good, so liberating for my lungs. There was just water and eucalyptus oil in it, and I smoked that, I mean, I breathed that in. I inhaled it, kind of like I smoked water steam in, kind of like the e-cigarettes, you know. And it felt incredibly good. And I remember that Norbert tried that too, and he said, "Ooh, that feels like smoking." He almost said it in a negative way, and I was like, well, for me, that's my solution. It's my substitute now. And kind of like an oral fixation, sort of like a nipple substitute from very rudimentary times. And Sigmund Freud would immediately jump on that and say, of course it is, we've been weaned too early, and then we become fixated on that. That's also why men like boobs. So, but anyway, I was able to quit with that, and with all the Veleda products from Dr. Rudolf Steiner and Dr. Rudolf Hauschka, these two cosmetic lines that Veleda ended up buying out Dr. Hauschka products. So now they're owned by Veleda AG in Germany, but Dr. Hauschka still continue to make the products in their ways, of course. And their cosmetic line is a notch more expensive than the Veleda ones, because they also include very high-end cosmetic for the face, makeup products, eyeliner, mascara, everything. Eyeshadow, they have amazing eyeshadows, and everything is completely 100% natural. There is nothing chemical, nothing synthetic in it. There is nothing in it that was made in a chemical laboratory, and it's not tested on animals. Those are all PETA approved, Dr. Hauschka and Veleda, and they're all cruelty free. And so the only reason why they are not vegan approved is because Dr. Hauschka sometimes uses carmine, which is a red ink that is produced by beetles, and I don't like it. I don't want that. I don't understand it. So because of that, I don't buy their red products for the face. So I'm starting to sweat a whole lot. I wonder why. Kind of like David Foster Wallace a little bit. I sweat a lot when I make videos. Sometimes you can see my sweat running down my face. Particularly in here, there seems to be a lot of sweat glands in there that start to bubble up, and then so it's not that overly hot in here, but it's not cold either. So, and that I like the best, because, and I have double pants on. I have these real thick work pants on, and I have jogging pants underneath, and so that's still a relic from last week's clothing custom that I had. So I mean, I put this on like the day before yesterday. So I put these pants on, and it was still relatively cold. So I thought it was going to be cold, but now it's starting to warm up, and I am very, very, very grateful for that. That is amazing. And we're going to go to the desert pretty soon, and to the hot springs for the Papa Dog. Yes, we're going to hot springs. And it was so nice the last time we went into the desert. We went to Virgin Valley Hot Springs. That is a sort of like a camping resort right in the middle of the desert, and the local people there, they keep it nice. and it's all free, and it's like a huge resort, but it's all free to use. The hot spring that's constantly running, that runs by itself, and there's a wonderful swimming pool and shower house. It's all, well, the shower is just running because the hot springs, it's an artesian well just constantly running with healing water. And then there's a fish pond that's also connected to it. And Papa and I, we went into the fish pond, and it was so amazing. There was the perfect Papa Dog pool, shallow pool, like a foot deep. And Papa and I went in there, was perfect for him, a foot deep, because he's just 14 inches tall. So he went into that Papa Dog pool, and together there I put mud on him from the bottom of that fish pond, and I washed him with that mud, and then afterwards we rinsed him with the hot spring water hose that was at the other end, and got him real nice and clean, and he felt so good afterwards. That was so wonderful, right, Paul? I mean, Paul was there watching us, and I should have given Paul this camera to hold the camera while we're in the pool. We missed out on this, and then we wanted to do this on the way back from the opal mine, but then we didn't get the chance to do it, and also the weather was changing, and he didn't want to go over those mountain passes in harsh weather, so I was a little nervous about this. But that was an amazing hot spring road trip, and we're gonna make another one pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to this. Really awesome. So what else did I want to say before the sun goes down? What else I want to make a philosophy conversation. And if I can get people like you and Mirka said she's very shy, my friend from Slovakia. She's very shy and she doesn't want to be on the camera. And I think that's so sad, because I want these really good people on the camera. I want to have a conversation that, you know, I'm nervous. I sweat, I'm nervous, I stutter. You know, sometimes I have blackout, like, you know, I had a real severe blackout when I was with Vin Diesel. in that hot spring jacuzzi in the desert. Oh my gosh, when was that? I think that was in 2002. Yes, in 2002. I didn't know anything about him at that time. I just knew this guy is the ultimate. And I couldn't speak anymore. I started stuttering, then I couldn't speak anymore. And then I just put my head under the water. And then I got out. Because Paul was calling over and saying that we need to get going. And I thought, oh my gosh. So yeah, I get nervous in front of the camera too, because I don't know who's gonna watch this, and I don't know, the haters, they're gonna hate me for being nervous. And yeah, it takes a lot of concentration also to keep my mind on a specific subject and to keep this red train, the thread going, you know, the focus on the subject going, and that's not easy always. But I think if we have a nice conversation with tea on Google Hangout, you know, if just you and I, if we get this started, that would be already amazing. Maybe then we can encourage Mirka to jump on board with us too. And then we three could talk, and maybe I can get, I have another animal rights friend who lives in Bangkok. Maybe I can get her on board with this as well, and we can talk about all of these things. We can talk about anxiety. We can talk about our worries about the future, our panic attacks, our nightmares, night terror, sleeping problems, and all of these things. I know we all have it. My friend in Bangkok has it too. And so that's just natural. This not because that's not even that mentally ill or anything. It's just a natural reaction to living in an ice cold world where terrible things are happening, and we want to help and want to make things better, and it's overwhelming often, and I think that's why I think it's very, very important. That would be so important to have a group where we can talk to each other, and it's also good to talk on Facebook with the live tweet. The private live tweet is good to have something like this, or maybe we can even invite another person into live tweet. But the tweet is not the same as like video form, and the videos that I make individually are not the same as a direct conversation where we talk in real time with each other, because talking in real time and video conversations, that's like talking to someone in person. Just the only difference is we're not in the same room with each other, but we're talking in real time, one-on-one, and we can talk 3-on-3, we can talk 2 people, 3 people, or 4 people in a conference call, and that would be really, really fantastic, I think, psychologically for all of us, because then we can, first of all, we can come out of our comfort zone a little bit. We can basically, it's talk to the public. It's a window out to the public. In the beginning, there are not that many people that are gonna be coming across that video if I upload it to YouTube. A lot of people will probably look at it for 2 minutes and then turn it off because they can't identify with. So in the beginning, it's not like we're looking out into the world, we're like, we are live now, or like, oh, the video is live now, and then suddenly the whole world sees us. It's not going to be that. It's only like this for Vin Diesel, I tell you that. If Vin Diesel opens up a tweet or like a live video tweet on Facebook, it's like, first there's 100,000 people, and then in 5 minutes there's 5 million people, and then in another 10 minutes there's the whole world. Oh, watching Vin Diesel. Oh my gosh. And they're all in love and all of this. And the same with some other people in Hollywood and around the world, some really, really famous people like Stephen Hawking, but he took off his spacesuit now, and he doesn't have to suffer anymore. So, but yeah, there are some very, very, very famous people, and then like almost everyone is watching them, but that's not the case for us. So, but I'm already nervous and sweating when I'm thinking that maybe 10 people might watch it. So, and then I feel like I have to perform, I have to be precise, and I have to not be ridiculous, and I have to not be awkward, and I have to not make them feel kind of weird or like where they feel like they need to turn it off or something. So yeah, this takes us out of our comfort zone big time, and for me every time, every day. But that's why I want to push myself in this direction, because I do it for the animals, because when I think of it as I'm doing it for the animals, then I don't have to be so nervous, versus if I think of myself making a video kind of like for my own whatever vanity, or I don't know, to find a boyfriend or whatever, my own purposes. So then I feel really, really nervous. But if if I can do this, if I can tell myself, but I'm doing this to speak to the world, to make the world a better place, then it shifts focus, and then I kind of, my self awkwardness and all of this steps into the background a little bit, and I say to myself, and even if I come across as weird or something, at least I'm trying to reach other people. And I know that a lot of other people feel the same way. So then if we can get together, we can actually talk about these very things, and we can transcend it. We can discuss all of this. There's just no taboo at all. Okay. All of these things are important to talk about, and they all tie in with one another. They tie in with animal rights, with metaphysics, with philosophy, with ethics, making the world a better place. So there's a lot of people out there who cannot show themselves, and if we make this leap, if we make this leap into the public with this thing, to invite people into this group where they feel safe, at least with us, even if they feel unsafe with the public laughing about them or something, then that would be a huge, huge move forward in the right direction. So maybe we can try this sometime. Maybe we can try this. We can do a Google Hangout. Maybe my friend Elsa will join too. That would be really, really awesome. I have another friend in France. I think she lives in Paris. And my friend Elsa, a real great artist. And she's also from France. I met her at the center in LA. We did primatherapy training together. So primatherapy, the school for, school and therapy. We all also went through this therapy, and we also learned in the classes as well on how to deal with therapy, how to deal with a client, how to help people in a group therapy. And it was all recorded, and we had tape reviews, and it was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. A wonderful school, the school that made the most sense in my life. I learned so much, and I want to carry this on, because Arjanov died. He was very old, so he died in 2017, not long after my friend Annalise, who was also a great therapist and who worked with him and was there as well, and who got me into it. So, and she wrote books. She wrote books about her clients that she had. Several books out there, Betty and Ahmed, and also a book about her own therapy process. So, and that's also one of the books that I gave you the link to. That's one of the books. Actually, this one book it consists of two of her books. So two of her little books. One is the anecdote collection, and the other one her poetry. And so I translated both of those and put them together into one kind of poetry collection. Samples of anecdotes collection. And they're like, I don't know, like 10 anecdotes, short stories that are true stories, things that she has been observing in LA and around the world. She has been an animal rights activist herself, Annalise, from a completely different generation, and she didn't even realize that she was an animal rights activist, because she was too much into very old school conformity and conform to way of thinking, and you're supposed to be like this or supposed to be like this, and a lady has to be like this and that. So she could have been my grandmother for sure, but she was my therapist when I was a child. And so we had some, Annalise had, we didn't get along always because of that generational gap. That was very difficult. But she has always been someone who was very much thinking outside of the norm and didn't even realize it. She thought she was still in the norm, and then she would also go back to the norms and out of not questioning the norms. But the way she lived, like if she saw an animal in need, she would go right over there. It wouldn't matter what the situation was. One time they were invited during the Cold War. Her husband was a politician and an ambassador, and they were invited by Russian primatologists, and they went in there, and they were also connected with the government, and they did research on primates. And as soon as they got in there, Annalise said, "This is unacceptable. I cannot accept this. This is torture. I'm gonna leave." And her husband was super cool too, in the same way. And he said, "My wife is completely right. We're leaving." And I thought that was so, that as an ambassador, who's like, as a diplomat who's trying to fix any kind of political tensions and stuff like that was the intent that they came there. But then they saw this research facility, and they said it's unacceptable, and they left. And I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And I kept saying that to her over and over again, that I thought that is the coolest thing in the world, and how brave they were for that, particularly in that situation. So those are two amazing people that I've met in my life, and they both took off their spacesuits already, the husband already, in 1987, left, and Annalise left in, I think it was in the beginning of January 2017. And then Arjanov, the founder of Primatherapy, Primus Cream, or as they say in French, how was it called? What did Elsa call it? Cri primal, thérapie primale. So, and yeah, he was iconic. That man is equivalent to Sigmund Freud, and I feel extremely grateful that I had the chance to meet this man and to study under him, and with that whole group there of about 60 people for the first 3 years that I was there, when Arjanov was still teaching. And so after three years, then he got very old, and he passed on that legislation over to his wife, and she's from France also, and her name is Franz Janov. So, and she's still running that center, and they moved to Santa Monica then with that center, and they got a better facility now. I haven't seen that place yet, since they had been in Venice on Abbot Kinney Boulevard. So, but that was quite an amazing school. That was a time in my life that made so much sense, because I knew what I was learning there, that those were things and tools that I'm going to be using for the future. I don't know how to implement this, like I said earlier, I don't know how to implement a therapy center, but I feel it in my blood that we need to make this happen somehow. And maybe if we just start with a video chat, like maybe once a week, I think we can get something rolling. with this. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this. Okay. Take care. Bye bye.